It's no secret that YouTube is quite a fickle platform at times. There are more controversies than you can count and thousands of sleazy creators causing them. These people bog down the website by trying to exploit its algorithm and grab the lowest hanging fruit in terms of viewers. Creators like this come and go and that won't change, so there's not really a point in complaining about it. But there is a point in giving some attention to others whose voices are often drowned out by these expletive people in a sea of online content. I'm far from the biggest voice in this platform, so while a shout out from me won't exactly build up a career like it would if it was one of PewDiePie's shout out contests, but I think it's still important to uphold the principle of giving credit where credit is due, even if it may not do much. Especially because some of the people I wish to mention are those who've helped me by lending their services for my own content. Sometimes for money and other times just out of generosity, which is all the more reason they deserve to be recognized. 2 years ago, I created another Underrated Channels video where I talked about 10 creators who I felt deserved more attention for their work, though most of them were names of those I'd been a fan of. But now I'd like to talk about the channels who I either ran into through creating my videos, or who've helped me make them. First and foremost, there's my editor Logan Elliott, who's helped create over a year's worth of videos from late 2019 to late 2020, and even more as of recently. In fact, he's also editing the video you're watching right now. I shouted him out in my first Underrated Channels video for his gaming channel prior to when he began working for me, but now I'd like to give credit for his editing skills and dedication to helping me keep the content flowing. It's meant a lot. I'll link him and everyone else I mentioned in the description, and even though Logan's gaming channel is gone now, definitely check out his remaining social media and support his future endeavors. Next, I'd like to mention 2 other editors who aided me during a period after Logan quit, and I was swamped enough to not handle the workload on my own. Exro and his friend Chris helped me with 5 videos in total: my Markiplier, Cinemassacre, and JonTron's Lost Videos episodes, YouTube's Dark Knight, and my Pyrocynical video. Exro was in fact the editor for my longtime frenemy Staxolotl, and Exro and Chris both did very good work during their time editing for me, including going above and beyond with animated segments for my Cinemassacre video in particular. They both have their own shared channel and Twitters. You should definitely check out their content if you appreciate the work they did with mine. There's also my good friend Lost, who's been helping me for years with several smaller things in the video making process. She helped me edit audio, track down specific clips within long streams or series, previewed scripts, and countless other things. She doesn't have anything to shout out besides a Twitter, but I can't make a video giving thanks to those who have aided me in creating content without mentioning the person who's been the most unsung helper this whole time. Give Lost a follow and tell her thanks for everything. Her tweets are good too. Just ask Ralph the Movie Maker.
Have you seen Ralph's enormous cock yet? Yes, I have, and yeah, it's enormous. You can definitely tell he's Italian.
Harry Gold is another name I'd like to give thanks to for the same reasons. Helping me out, I mean, not because of Ralph, but you know, you get it. You may remember him when I shout out his channel in a standalone video quite a long time ago after discovering him on my YouTube homepage by sheer random chance. He's a talented artist for Mad Magazine and has worked as an animator and special effects editor for a variety of commercials and independent projects. His channel uploads videos about a variety of subjects but with a focus on art in some form. After the release of my video on him, the two of us became friends and he's lent his artistic skills for a variety of projects including my Tally Hall and Neil Cicierega documentaries, as well as the Mr. Beast YouTube Nobodies episode. He's been very kind during all of our interactions, and his content on YouTube continues to be very impressive with each new upload, so I highly recommend you go and check it out. There's also another artist known as SinsAndSmoke who's helped me out similarly to Harry. She too is an underrated YouTuber who's very experienced with digital art and special effects, and created 17 animated title cards for the Tally Hall documentary. On her own channel, she uploads short animation memes with heavy use of After Effects. They're very fluid and well put together, definitely worth a watch. Then there's someone who I'm sure you all know by now that's been a big contributor to my channel and who I've lent aid to right back. That of course being YouTube's insane animator, Dane Prosnick of Movieunleashers. If you've been around my content for a while, you probably know about the Movieunleashers documentary and how Dane and I have been friends for quite some time. I really enjoy his content and he feels the same about mine, so helping each other out with the projects and appearing in one another's videos has been fun for both of us these past few years. We've recorded several tier lists and commentaries together, as well as scripted lines for the occasional cameo on the other's account. Just like Harry and Sins, he was in the Neil Cicierega and Tally Hall documentaries, as well as the Mr. Beast YouTube Nobodies episode. And for his channel, I edited McDonald's Tacos Behind the Scenes, his Dane Quest video, and a few others. He's been branching out and creating quite a few surreal projects, so you never know what you'll get next from him. I strongly urge you to subscribe, and especially if you like my content because you'll occasionally see me or something I make appear on his channel. And speaking of me being on someone else's channel, there's also Turkey Tom. He and Dane aren't exactly underrated names, but they're people I want to give a thanks to for the aid they've lent me and who I feel I should direct some of my audience to. In the case of Tom, I've actually been a writer for many of his videos that you may have not seen, such as helping with his PewDiePie documentary and writing the Isabella Janke and Ray William Johnson videos, and other things that may not have even seen the light of day yet, like his Lost Media Iceberg video. The paid work he's given me has allowed me to stay on the platform since my own content doesn't generate enough by itself. Say what you will about Tom, but in working with him he's been nothing but fair, and that does warrant a thanks. Next is BedHead Bernie. Now he isn't someone I myself have worked with, but I keep running across him time and time again because he's essentially my YouTube twin. Like me, he works for Tom, but also many other channels I enjoy, such as Gamer from Mars, and his own content involves similar topics as my own, such as Lost Media and other YouTubers, all within a documentary format even before that was as common as it is today. I consider these videos far superior to anything I could personally make, with the thorough research and how polished the editing is. He has 3 channels and I strongly recommend you check them all out. I've enjoyed every minute of content and he finds a way to make subjects interesting even if you've never heard of them prior. Then there's Slackr, formerly known as Slackr TV, who's a retired commentator that didn't get as far in the landscape as I think he deserved to. He's a name I've wanted to shout out for 2 years now, and while I haven't followed him too much in the time since, it appears as though today he's working on several original projects both on YouTube and in other mediums such as music. His new channel known as Mind Prison isn't as big as his main account, and while it does appear to be a shelved project now, I think it's worth mentioning. He brought enough quality to the table with his prior content that I'd say his newer stuff is well worth checking out at the very least. Then there's Nothing Explained. I found this guy by sheer accident because just like BedHead Bernie, he seems to share a lot in common with me and even beat me to several topics I'd wanted to discuss. Originally going by YouTube Explained, the content on this channel is fairly self-explanatory and has gotten quite successful. But the reason I feel as though it's worth mentioning is because just like Slackr, the creator of the channel has decided to move on to other things and made a new channel that isn't nearly as big. It too seems to be abandoned, but definitely keep an eye on this guy and check out his new projects when they come around. And lastly, there's Baron Julius von Brunk. He makes a variety of really cool Lego animations and a bunch of other things that are all very impressive. He's had several viral hits, but still deserves a lot more recognition than he's gotten so far. I found out about this guy from the State of the YouTube podcast with Mumkey Jones, Emp Lemon, and Rusty Cage when he made figures of each of them out of Legos and created animations serving as a promo for the podcast that got recognized by them. Definitely subscribe to his channel and check out some of the content. Now that's everybody I can think to mention who's aided me directly or is underrated enough to warrant being discussed, but I'd like to give some honorable mentions to a few stranger individuals I've run into. When you make videos for long enough, you tend to encounter a lot of weird things that can be quite interesting, but would never come up in a typical video. Either because, while they are interesting, there's not much to say, and would never be discussed in a standalone upload. So here are some of them. The first is Nervy YT, a small creator who makes gaming content, but who released a video that for some reason I find funny every time I watch it.
Yo, what's up guys? My name is Nervy. And welcome back to another video.
I can't even say why, but this is just hilarious to me. It's like he goes through every emotion a human being can experience, and you don't see that too often in a channel introduction video. Ever since I found it, I've snuck footage from it into most major videos I create. So you've probably seen him before. Definitely go and subscribe and give him a thanks for all the cutaway gags. Then there's another channel I ran into that I'd only describe as Alcoholic Review Bra. He's a creator called Raggies, Beers, Wines, and Spirits Reviews, who posts daily uploads reviewing alcohol-based beverages as the name suggests. Now, I've never watched a single upload of his, but I found him during the creation of an abandoned video where I searched the word review and sorted by upload date to see what kinds of videos were being posted in this genre on a typical day. In the end, I didn't make the video because his was the most interesting one. Nothing else stood out. But what makes it more interesting now is the fact that I did that video on September 18th, 2018, and for the past several years, he hasn't broken his upload streak or his liver. Gotta respect the man's dedication to his craft. Then there's Trent Bedding, a channel belonging to a local mattress store in the hometown of a YouTuber friend I once worked with. The account is actually very active despite being a ma and pa company, but for this reason, a lot of the content feels way more personal than a typical brand channel. They make very surreal commercials and it's genuinely funny content at times. If anyone at YouTube is watching, give this guy a verification tick, since this is probably one of the most endearing corporate channels I've ever seen, and would make the others look good by comparison. And speaking of small-time companies, we also have BMC Studios, a notorious game development company run by several teenagers whose content is hilarious to say the least. Maybe not in the way they intend.
And here we are, there's the live action stuff that we've come to know and not love from BMC.
Oh, shit. Shut up!
Oh dear. Yeah, I'm gonna tap into this early.
This isn't shit. Yes, it is.
Oh, you know it's good when you can see the actors on camera laughing at their own jokes.
I don't know, I just find all this funny, and being gifted one of their games by a fan on Steam made for probably one of the most hilarious experiences I've had in quite a while. Hello everybody, it's just Jargon here, and today we're going to be playing There is a Genie in My Szechuan Sauce. I don't even really know what to make of this one, to be quite honest. An equally funny channel is Joe on a Boat, a creator who's featured YouTube acquaintances of mine such as Rusty Cage and YMS, but whose content isn't like either of them, and it defies words. Your reaction to seeing it for the first time will probably be similar to mine. Moldy Manny asks, what is your opinion of Joe on the Boat? Okay, who's Joe on the Boat? What the fuck? What am I?
Hi, I'm Joe. Thanks for clicking the link in my Tinder profile. The real problem I have with females is they worry too much about all the details.
All because girls have never been attracted to me.
Oh my
For the
god,
last
who is
8
this
years,
guy?
I've been living on this beautiful yacht here in Marina del Rey. Don't worry about coming to a boat with me. It'll be just fine. The walls are thin. You can hear everything. There's people all over the marina 24/7. This is absolutely the worst place to try to murder somebody. I ought to know.
What on earth is this? Another funny entry to this list would be I Hate Everything parody channels as a whole. The original channel is the commentator and film reviewer who inspired many others on the landscape in these genres. But in this case, the inspiration was much more on the nose. If you've watched IHE before, you may know a bit about them already.
They say imitation is the most sincere form of flattery. I'm not sure if this takes it too far, though.
These accounts are very much akin to the Twitter parodies I myself and creators such as The Right Opinion have gotten in the past.
I want to know how he found your Twitter after you didn't get deleted.
It's not that hard to type in Monkey Jones.
Yeah,
to
but there's
Twitter.
so many like fake Monkey Joneses.
Oh, there's not.
If there's like 50 just Jargons, there's like 600 of you.
But needless to say, these channels for IHE have died out, especially since some of them have gotten taken down for copyright violations. I don't know if that's fitting or ironic. His name was often altered, replacing one of the words to form other names, like I love everything, I care about everything, or strange cases like I hate green or IH8 everything. IHE himself made a video discussing these, which increased their popularity and prevalence for a brief bit, but unfortunately it seems that they've all died out now. I would know. I used to be one of them, but that's a subject for a different day. During that video, I was referring to when I created the alias I Plagiarize Everything to go undercover into one of their Discord servers in 2017 to do the research necessary to make the video documenting them, which fell through in the end. But that doesn't make these guys any less funny. Then there's Dominic Schmitty, a flamboyant creator who may actually be a stalker. Now don't take this as an endorsement. I've never seen his videos and don't intend to, but I'm just mentioning him because in 2016 I ran into his Twitter somehow during the creation of a parody video based on Leafy is Here. And this guy was doing his best to become Leafy's next target. He didn't succeed, but he was odd enough for me to remember him by name. And years later I checked back to find that he'd actually managed to become a running joke with other reaction commentators like he'd always intended. I don't know, I just find that interesting. Things fell through with Leafy and these poor guys got Dominic's sloppy seconds. But in terms of honorable and even dishonorable mentions, that's about it. It's been a long ride, and there's been a lot of people who've helped me along the way, and many others I've ran into during it all. They all warrant being mentioned, and it's cathartic to have finally done so. Please check everyone out and send comments their way. Like, subscribe, give a comment, and give your comments a dislike. Because yeah, I just realized, why is that button there? That thing does nothing, and with YouTube always oversimplifying their layout time and time again, you'd think they'd nix it at some point, but God, it's really starting to bug me now. What is it about that? Why is that there?